deep dive into a world where architecture and energy efficiency kind of come together.
Yeah.
That's right, the integration of daylighting and electric lighting in buildings.
Yeah.
You might be surprised to learn just how much these strategies can impact not only your energy bills,
Right.
but also how you feel.
It's really fascinating how light affects so much more than just our vision.
You're right, and for this deep dive, we've got
Yeah.
a treasure trove of information, a comprehensive analysis from the IEA,
Yeah.
that's the International Energy Agency, examining 25 real-world case studies
Wow.
of integrated lighting solutions in buildings around the globe.
That's a goldmine of practical examples showing just how effective these strategies can be in action.
Yeah, so let's start with something I think we all care about,
Okay.
energy savings.
Yeah.
Just how much can we actually save with these integrated lighting solutions?
The potential is huge. We're talking about office spaces achieving annual energy use as low as 3 to 4 kilowatt hours per square meter per year. That's way lower than the current benchmarks.
Okay, help me visualize that. What does that kind of reduction look like in real-world terms?
Imagine slashing your electricity bill for lighting potentially by more than half.
Really?
That's the kind of impact we're talking about.
Wow, that's significant. But how do they achieve such dramatic reductions? What are the key ingredients?
It's a combination of 3 main factors: good daylighting design, highly efficient light sources like LEDs, and intelligent control systems that respond to changing conditions.
So it's not just about cramming in as many LEDs as possible.
No, it's about a much more nuanced approach. For example, the A.T. Bartenbach office in Austria achieved an incredibly low energy use of just 3.65 kilowatt hours per square meter per year.
Impressive. What do they do that was so special?
They really maximize daylight by incorporating windows, skylights, and automated louvers that adjust throughout the day. Then they combine that with a sophisticated system to control the electric lighting, dimming or turning it off completely when sufficient daylight was available. This is a great example of a well-executed, integrated design approach.
So I'm hearing that it's about using daylight and electric light in a complementary way, but you mentioned something called integrative lighting earlier.
Right.
Is that something different?
You're right, it is different. Integrative lighting goes beyond just visual needs, taking into account how light impacts our health and well-being.
Okay, that's interesting. Tell me more about this concept of integrative lighting.
It's about mimicking the natural patterns of daylight. As you know, daylight changes in intensity and color temperature throughout the day. Integrative lighting systems try to recreate these shifts, dimming and tuning the electric lights to provide the right kind of light at the right time.
Why is that so important? What's the benefit of trying to mimic natural light indoors?
Well, a growing body of research suggests that this approach can improve alertness, sleep quality, and even overall well-being. It's all tied to our circadian rhythms, our internal biological clock that governs our sleep-wake cycles.
I can see why this is becoming such a hot topic in the design world. It's not just about saving energy anymore. It's about creating spaces that are truly supportive of human health and well-being.
Exactly, and these case studies provide valuable insights into how we can actually achieve that in real-world buildings.
Before we dive into those specific examples, though, I want to talk more about daylight. You mentioned that people love it, but isn't it sometimes a problem? I mean, too much direct sunlight can create glare and make it hard to work.
You're right. Daylight can be a double-edged sword. Too much direct sunlight can be disruptive, but not enough can leave us feeling gloomy and less productive. The key is to find that sweet spot, maximizing the benefits of daylight while minimizing the drawbacks.
So how do these integrated lighting solutions help achieve that balance?
They utilize a variety of strategies. For example, some buildings incorporate daylight redirecting systems. Think light pipes or carefully angled windows that bounce sunlight deep into the interior spaces. Other designs employ automated shades that adjust throughout the day, controlling glare while still allowing plenty of natural light to enter.
It sounds like a lot of thought and planning goes into these systems, but I'm curious, what did people in these case studies actually think about all this? Were they happy with these high-tech lighting solutions?
That's a great question. And the answer, as you might expect, is that it varies. Some projects had amazing results, with occupants raving about the improved lighting quality and feeling more energized and focused.
Give me an example. What did these successful projects do right?
One standout example is the Norconsult office in Norway. They used a horizontal light pipe to bring sunlight deep into the office space. It was so effective that on sunny days, it contributed a whopping 70% of the total illuminance.
Wow, that's impressive. I can see why people would be happy with that. But you said it varies, so I'm guessing not all the projects were home runs.
Unfortunately, no. In one case, a furniture store installed a large skylight to bring in daylight. The customers loved having a view, but it turned out they were looking out over a parking lot.
Ouch. That sounds like a design misstep.
Yeah,
So it's not just about having a view, it's about having a good view, right?
you got it. View quality is important, not just quantity. And it's also about understanding how people use the space and what kind of views would be most beneficial for their well-being.
That makes a lot of sense. Any other key takeaways about daylighting from these case studies?
One finding that stood out was that people often prefer dimmable electrochromic windows to control glare, even if that means slightly less daylight. In the Portland EC case study, occupants actually preferred this option over traditional Venetian blinds, which blocked the view entirely.
It seems that preserving a connection to the outside world is a really important factor in how people experience a space.
Absolutely, and we'll continue exploring that theme as we delve deeper into the world of integrative lighting solutions. But I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
You're right, and it's been fascinating so far, but don't worry, we're just getting started. Join us for part 2 as we explore even more amazing examples of integrative lighting in action.